Well, you know,
Hey guys, today we're going to be watching Southern California police chase,
and then officers again,
April 24th, 2013.
If this guy stole a vehicle, you know, what else
Damn,
has he done?
listen to now.
And this guy,
So I'm gonna write all
he
of this
started out
down.
with a little bit more where the
We're
officers
gonna
had
listen.
some, because originally this started out as a burglary. So, you know, I have to excuse everybody for the picture. It's all blurry right now. We're going through that heavy cell again. I can see ahead, though. It is going to clear up here in just a moment, but this is rain that we're passing through. Very, very heavy rain. I can show a little bit wider. You can see the water just rushing down the lens. Again, though, we are northbound 5 freeway right now, and you know, I'm hearing the CHP talk about it. They're talking about spike strips. They're trying to get somebody into place. So maybe they are going to try to slow traffic or wait for a spot and just throw them out there and knock out this guy's tires. Again, though, you know, as far as penalties go, I wouldn't even want to know what this guy is facing. You know, and again, with this guy starting out as a burglary, that's the reason why they have to chase him. You know, who knows what this guy is going to do if he's willing to do that? How far is he going to take it? You know,
we're getting some information, bits and pieces of information coming in from the Riverside PD. They're saying that about an hour ago, this guy was allegedly burglarizing this U-Haul facility when the silent alarms went off. And apparently this was watched on surveillance camera, and that's when the cops were notified. I'm hoping I'm getting this information. This is coming in bits and pieces, but that's the gist of it. So this guy was caught burglarizing this U-Haul yard when the silent alarms went off, and that's when whoever was monitoring the surveillance cameras at the time called the cops. But there he is. He's exiting.
It's Brookhurst, and he's definitely exiting, but making much slower moves now as he's getting off the freeway. And again, you can see people stopping. You know, they're hearing the sirens. They're probably just pulling over because they hear those sirens. Again, he's just kind of got off the freeway. Doesn't look like he's making any kind of attempt to get back on the freeway.
Just ran a red light.
Something new. Totally ran that red light. Officers actually slowed down. Now they slowed down because it's raining. These streets are wet, and people would have a reaction time. So they were making sure there were no cars in that intersection. And again, the guy in the U-Haul truck, he's not privy to that kind of information. So he's just running these red lights. And again, other people that are on the roads, these roads are wet. That's going to could create a real issue. He has slowed down. I can say that he's not doing 80 anymore, but definitely staying on these surface streets. And it looks like we're getting back onto the freeway here. And again, it's this 91 making a quick move as he gets onto the on-ramp there, fishtail just a little bit. And we're definitely back onto the 91, and that's where we started earlier on.
Yeah, you know what's odd about this is the suspect is shirtless. And the fact that he allegedly stole this truck from a U-Haul yard shirtless appears to be quite odd.
He wasn't dressed for the burglary, you're saying?
No, it's not that. He could be, I mean, possibly, we don't want to make assumptions, but, you know, one could allude that he could be, you know, under the influence of something.
Well, we are told that's a very good point. That isn't uncommon for situations like this, but we are told that this suspect stole this U-Haul from a U-Haul rental yard in Riverside at about 9:45 this evening when the silent alarms went off at that rental place.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Wow. You know, I don't know what that was all about. We just exited here at Euclid, and driving a lot more erratically there. He kind of lost it a little bit there as he got off the freeway, hit some dirt, a little patch of dirt there, and got a little sideways. Again, you know, I couldn't even tell you why. There weren't any cars on the road. You know, gosh only knows what he was doing there. Again, though, we got off the freeway. We're off at Euclid, and now we're back on Surface Street. Now it seems like he's becoming more and more erratic. He got off the freeway a couple times, making big U-turns. He drove down some streets, got on another freeway, and basically brought himself back to where he was to begin with again. So it is very curious. Excuse me, I'm just finding out that we're on the southbound 5, just passing Harbor. And, you know, again, just no rhyme to reason, so this is going to make it more difficult for the officers to actually make a plan to try to get this guy to stop.
And you can see with the conditions, it's been wet out there. It is raining off and on in this part of Orange County. Anaheim, we passed Disneyland, and it looks like it's hard for us to tell from here. It's a little blurry, but also we're seeing this truck, what looks like it's either going to be a transition or he's just exiting the freeway entirely. This suspect has actually gotten off the freeway on a couple of occasions and has had a real difficult time navigating the streets, not only because it's been wet, there's been traffic, but he's driving a big truck he may not be too familiar with. One other oddity about this suspect is we were told he's not wearing a shirt. I don't know what that means, but that's just another, there's another wide turn.
Oh, there's another fishtail.
Another fishtail, yep. Out of control there.
Yeah, and he's been doing this pretty much all evening long. He's been going at speeds of between 80 and 90 miles per hour, blowing through red lights when he's exited the freeway and gone through these surface streets. And there you see CHP very, very close to this suspect who's driving that U-Haul box truck right there as you see it.
We talked earlier about the fact that the pit maneuver might not be an option because of the size of this truck, but that cruiser got up there quite close.
Yeah.
He could be just checking out the suspect. Now he's pulling over, and let's see what happens here. He's possibly ready to give up.
Yeah, CHP probably communicating with him at this point, trying to get him out of the truck.
This is right next to the UCI Irvine Medical Center, the UC Irvine Medical Center, Chapman Avenue, I believe. Yeah, Chapman Avenue, and the suspect finally pulling over after this all began about an hour ago, a little more than an hour ago, with a stolen box truck. There you see, was that State Avenue? I think we just
State
saw.
College Boulevard,
Yeah.
I believe.
Wow, it looks like he's going to try to
he's
turn
driving
around.
off. No, he's turning around.
Those
He is
cruisers are right
defiant.
behind him, and
He is not going to get out of that truck. And there he goes
quite
again.
Possibly could be getting back on the freeway. Interesting how he slowed down. Looked like he had a little trouble trying to keep the truck on the road. It looked like he was going to pull over and give up, and
He just bolted. He just decided to not heed the officers.
they are trying to pit him.
maneuver.
They are going to try to pit that truck.
It's as we said, as you mentioned, it's a big truck, and often law enforcement hesitate to pit maneuver a truck that size.
That's the 5 freeway that you're looking at. State College Boulevard is the street below it that those CHP cruisers, which are all stopped, by the way. So I'm beginning to wonder if the truck is under the freeway at a stop. We haven't seen it come through on the other side.
It's really hard to tell. There you see the officers getting out of their cars. They have their guns drawn. He must have pulled right underneath the that overpass there, and stopped.
And I guess they're giving him commands. To the right there, we can see. It looks like
There he is.
It's hard to tell. That looks like it's almost sideways. That could be the angle of our chopper view, but
No, he's up on the
could
curb.
be
What do you
leaning
call it, the
sideways.
curb?
We saw the officer try to pit him. I was curious to see if that was going to work out, and apparently it did. This is the end of a pursuit that started with this U-Haul rental truck being stolen in Riverside.
And this all started with a rental truck being stolen. Now it went on for several hours.
And hopefully the suspect will get out of the truck this time.
I read this already, and I wrote it.
There he is.
So he's
Giving
out.
up. You can see.
And fortunately heeding the commands of the officers that are there to
Heeding
take him into custody.
heeding the commands. There you have it. Check out this video. Pops up here, bam. See you guys in the next video for Cup Chase videos. Bye, guys.